As Cam Newton and the Patriots struggled against the Niners, Newton throwing 3 interceptions and benched in a 33-6 loss. Tom Brady and the Bucs were taking it to the Raiders. TB12 was flawless, tying a season high with 369 yards, 4 touchdowns.
There's some really good plays that were made, and glad we finished the game strong. It's a good football team. They play hard. Good to go on the road and get a win.
For any type of competitor, do you feel embarrassed? Yeah, and I am as honest as I could possibly be right now. And the first thing I said, to myself coming home, I said, you keep playing games like that, bro, and it's going to be a permanent change. We, as an offense, have yet to play a turnover-free game. That is the key to win. I'm not planning on just going out there just yigging interceptions left and right. It's simple. I have to play better. Let's just point and say that.
The Patriots haven't had a stretch like this in nearly 2 decades. New England has lost 3 straight for the first time since 2002, and they're more than 2 games back in the AFC East for the first time since Bill Belichick's first season in 2000. Their quarterbacks have combined for 3 touchdown passes and 11 interceptions this season. Just for emphasis, the Patriots quarterbacks, a combined 3 touchdowns. Tom Brady has thrown 18, which is second most in the NFL. All right, Randy, you know this organization. How did it get this bad? How concerned are you?
Well, I think that when you look at the quarterback position, you look at Tom Brady for 20 years being the New England Patriots quarterback, but now there's a change at the position. The quarterback that I'm seeing up there, Susie, looks like he's very uncomfortable, but putting a lot on himself because of the guy he's replacing. He's missing the easy throws. It's easy throws, the pitch and catch. I want y'all to look at this first play. Super Bowl 53 MVP Julian Edelman. You can't find him. He's wide open. You're throwing to his back shoulder. Tips and overthrows, as we always say, you got to get those. The next play, look at this play. It's 3rd down and 5. A man-man coverage, 9-stop. You're going to skip me a 9-stop out there like we're skipping rocks in the water? Last but not least, the blitz is coming. The blitz is coming. You cannot throw a quick 5-yard out. I was there with Tom Brady once. We were unable to complete a 5-yard out on 3rd down. Coach Bill Belichick told me and Tom Brady, if I want the ball incomplete, I go right down here to the local high school and get their quarterback and see if he can come in here and do it. So when I look at Cam Newton at the quarterback position, he seems like he's putting so much pressure on himself to try to be the man, but he needs to just relax. Step into his throws, because when you see Cam Newton flustered, you see the wide receivers out there flustered, then how can this team come together collectively and straighten things up? It starts with the quarterback position. He said it. He does have to play better, and it needs to start next week.
Steve, Cam was supposed to be reviving his career here, and it seems to be going the opposite way right now.
Yeah, it seems he's disinterested, and that and injuries are what cost him in Carolina. And a disinterested quarterback is not what you want. And it just begs the question that we talked about last week. I mean, the success of the Patriots over the last 20 years, Robert Kraft, Bill Belichick, Tom Brady, all equally share in all that success. But now going forward without Tom Brady, what is the plan? And if the plan is Cam Newton, it certainly wasn't look like he, a couple of months ago he comes out of the sky. We talked about dropping from the air. But what is the plan long term? It felt like I was watching the Jets yesterday. It was cringeworthy. And it was like, how do they turn it around? How do they get it fixed? It feels like it's broken. And that great teams don't rebuild, they reload. This is not a reloading team. And so in my mind, I was like, what is the plan going forward? How do they fix it? They've got to find a quarterback long term, and they have not done anything to rebuild that, put that back in the cupboard. So in my mind, of all the success they had for 20 years, fine, tremendous, amazing, but my gosh, if it's falling off a cliff, where does that accountability settle?
Well, Steve, listen, they found Cam in July. It was a last-minute, last-ditch effort. He was on the street. The price came down to where it was almost veteran minimum. But here's my question. He opens the season against Miami. The Patriots blow them out. He looks great. They go to Seattle and play a really good Seattle team and almost win that game. And we were talking more about how impressive New England was in a loss than how impressive Seattle was in a win. So how can it be that there were 2 weeks of great Cam, great Patriots, nothing's changed, and now it's just the opposite. And everything's turned. Where is the truth? Where is what's real?
Adam, do you think in any way the Patriots now looking back are sorry?
No, listen, Tom Brady was going to leave. Tom Brady was out the door. I think everybody saw that coming. So the Patriots were never in a position to go draft a quarterback. They had to trade Jimmy Garoppolo when they did. What was the quarterback solution? Right. Now, going forward, they are positioned, if they don't like what they see over the course of a full season with Cam, to go be aggressive, to go find a quarterback. Cam fell into their laps in July. Fell into their lap. They thought there was going to be Jarrett Stidham and Brian Hoyer this year.
You make the point about Stidham and Hoyer. Steve, that was going to be their quarterback, Stidham and Hoyer. Cam fell into their lap. Now, again, you fast forward, Cam's playing well. It almost seems like there's something going on with Cam, though. Like when you watch him skipping throws, he's thrown the football 40 times the last 2 weeks. Only 3 of those throws have gone to the right outside the numbers. Like, that's unheard of. That's unheard of for an NFL quarterback just to avoid one side of the field, Steve. Like, I as a defensive lineman, as a defensive player, it almost makes it easier to know that the quarterback is going to avoid a certain section of the field. 3 throws out of 40 the last 2 weeks, Cam has thrown to a certain area of the field. It almost seems like Cam Newton is hurt or that something's going on, but he doesn't look like the same guy from the first 2 weeks.
I am unnerved by Cam Newton. I agree with you. I'm unnerved by how Cam's playing. But it also goes back to what Adam said. This is the best organization in football. The number one position in football is quarterback. You've had all these years to prepare for this transition. The transition takes place, no plan. Look for Cam to come save the day? Fine. Doesn't look like it's going to go so well. Maybe a resurgence for the first couple of weeks. Fine. Still, no plan. That's what's shocking to me. The number one organization in football, number one position in football, no plan and succession. Doesn't sound right to me.
And we can talk about Cam all we want, but isn't it true that one of the reasons Brady isn't there is because of lack of weapons and firepower on the offense? Has that really changed at all?
No.
Has that changed? Ryan Clark made a great point. I heard him listening to him on SportsCenter today, that it looks like Tom Brady's a better GM than Bill Belichick because he went after the talent.
Let me make one more point about what I'm seeing offensively for the Patriots. When you got a quarterback that's not stepping into his throws and skipping balls out there, you see the lackadaisical attitude coming from Myers, you're coming from Edelman. I think N'Keal Harry got hurt. When you have all of your pass catchers just going back to the sideline and just sitting lethargic, that means that they're disinterested. So one thing that Matt Hasselbeck, my colleague, taught me about being a quarterback, the relationship between the quarterback and the wide receiver, being able to put it right in front of them and give them a runner's ball. I never thought about that when I played, Susie, but being able to throw a wide receiver, pass catcher, a runner's ball. Yeah. So for the next couple of weeks, looking down in New England with all the frustration offensively, I'm going to look at the chemistry between the quarterback and the wide receivers. Is he able to give them a runner's ball to give them a chance to catch it and make yaks after the play?
Mm-hmm. All right, I'll look forward to that. Hey, next week we get to talk a lot Tom Brady. It's Brady at the Bucs on Monday Night Football. That'd be fun. Coming to town. Still to come here on Monday Night Football, Monday Night Countdown. We're cracking open Boomer's vault. Plenty of great plays from Sunday. See which ones make Boomer's top 5. None of these made the cut. And we've got the greatest defensive legends of all time talking about what makes Aaron Donald so special. One of them even had to phone a friend.
Matter of fact, I'll call him. JR.